away we go.
And away we go.
He said you were amped up for this, so we had to get you on a. We never shoot a podcast on a Monday.
Yeah, well, you know.
Is this the
I've been waiting
first
for a couple of weeks.
since you got back?
I just get off the plane like 2 hours ago. Yeah,
you literally just got
dying
here.
to talk, right? Like, please. But anyway, I flew in at what was it, 1:45. It is now 4. So there you go.
Yeah, 4:00.
Yeah, and I'm training at 5:30, so that's why you see me in the gym clothes. But speaking of that, I trained Dana. I'm sure you saw it. They flew for 16 hours straight, so I wasn't going to even bother, asking 10 o'clock at night that you're going to train. So I get the message, you ready? Like, what?
I saw that post on Instagram.
But listen, I mean, imagine that, 16-hour flight straight. They had a straight flight and put the clothes
Sounds
away.
something that I would do.
That's what you would do in Ronnie Coleman.
But did he fly economy?
Yeah.
So what body part did you train?
We did chest, shoulders, triceps, with my crazy giant sets, and then next day we did back biceps.
It's good. Yeah, I've been seeing Dana on a lot of podcasts lately.
Yeah.
Putting his unbiased opinion out there, which is actually really good.
Does he train heavy like you?
He doesn't train heavy. Listen, he trains intense. He doesn't want to do anything heavy and risky because shoulder is, not all there and stuff. Yeah. So you bring intensity by doing those giant sets and then prolong
reps.
Time and attention, slow eccentric, slow concentric, more peak contraction, stuff like that. But he is game always. And then on Saturday, he came with a guest, I think it was from Qatar, to train with him. So I trained them both. That was fun.
How was the gym actually there? You said it was pretty decent, huh?
Unbelievable. For hotel gym, that's, you
What
would not
hotel?
believe it. 4 Seasons.
Yeah,
It was like crazy. So as I was sending to Hunter and Dana, like, okay, this is gym, and I was like, it's not perfect, like in sense, like they have a perfect gym, perfect equipment.
Yeah.
So what do you mean? That's a hotel gym? I say, yeah. On the second thought, this is the best hotel gym I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
You want to go to Saudi one day?
Absolutely not.
This is my second time. I've been to Jeddah before.
Yeah.
It's good. I'll go again.
We're going to the Middle East soon.
Are we going to Dubai? Yeah, exactly.
You know what's great?
'Cause,
We're going to go there when it's the hottest time of the year. It's going to be like
let me tell you,
120.
Hold on a second. I get outside here in Vegas. It's hotter here than in Saudi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say, holy shit. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
118? What is it today?
I don't know what it is today.
Probably not 118 yet, but
I'm sure it'll get
probably
there
110.
before long.
You know.
Yeah.
Well,
So
welcome
tell us about
back,
the fight.
man.
Was the fights good?
Main card, all fights are off the charts good. I sent you those 2 knockouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, great event. The Sheik that you told me about, Turkey? Yeah, I think. Yeah, he was there. And
He's one of the promoters.
yeah, he's a major promoter, yeah. So
He's been bringing all the boxing
everything
events.
was high class, great event. I'm sure they're going to have so many more.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah. Hamzat pulled out, but
Saw that.
yeah, and he was main attraction, but Hunter got the replacement like this. Yeah.
People just want to see someone get knocked
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. It was a bad knockout. It's in first round. Robert Whittaker. Oh my God. Anyway, let's go to business of bodybuilding.
So, you had a guy in a show, and he got second place.
Hold a second. That was a week earlier.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about the week earlier, not yesterday.
Ah, okay. I thought
We're
you were
gonna
going to start with this.
No, we're going to start with the one before.
Okay, Spain. Let me put it this way. Going into the show, so who do we have competing? Michael Criso, winner from last year, monster. We all know him, quality, thick, crazy arms, crazy chest. I mean, big guy that was great at Olympia, but he slimmed down too much. He was trying to be too dry, and then you saw him next to Regan, and Regan was actually looking bigger than him. Yeah. So he probably, when he realized that, for Prague, he put back all the fullness, and he looked very good. Placed second to Samson. So going against my guy, Behruz Tabani, who is known for his conditioning, he's Iranian, and they have that next level conditioning, right? There was a question for me, okay, it would be a good idea to get Behruz a little bit fuller, bigger, because he's going against him, and he's still going to, be conditioned. He cannot not be conditioned. And I was very happy with the package that he presented, but apparently was not enough to win. And now, we're going to discuss that. William Bonyak, we love him. What a story, 42 years of age, coming back, much improved from the last few shows. So conditioning was off the chart. And what is he known for? He is probably the most dense guy in the last 20 years. Nobody has
a lot of
density.
packed muscle, yeah.
It's just a density. I was in Boston with Regan. I'll never forget that. I was fan. Regan was actually touching the ropes, like fibers on the chest and the shoulders and the arms. Crazy. I mean, he's that rock hard dance. So I know we're going to go against that, but it's still structure, it's still shape, aesthetics, V-taper. So there's no way that once he stands next to Behruz, and Behruz has a smallest waist you've ever seen, probably smaller than Sibam, and he has those flaring lats, and most muscular shoulders are like yours, like right there. So
how tall is he?
Like 6 foot.
Because he looks big. Like he's a big guy.
He's there, 5'11" and a half, something like that.
What is his weight estimate?
He was 115 kilos. Yeah, so 220. 242. I don't know, actually.
For a guy that height,
right,
you would think
100 kilos is 220, and then 15 kilos is another 38 to 4
36
pounds. Yeah.
Okay. So 250, low
a little
250s.
bit slower than that today.
Low 250s.
Yeah, low 250s. Yeah.
But he looks so much bigger than that.
Listen, I absolutely love his physique. I think he's one of the shapeliest guys on the whole circuit. Back poses, holy shit. I posted that back double biceps pose on my Instagram. I mean, that's the state of the art. Lat spread, oh my God. So let me rewind here. Congratulations to William. I mean, we love William, and I don't. You see, when you say to somebody that wins, maybe you shouldn't win. They're going to take this against you. How can you not, right? Yeah. Everybody wants to just hear the praises, but many times there is more than one winner. Depends what you look at. For me, my view of bodybuilding, shape is number one. That's what you're looking. Conditioned shape and structure beats just density and hardness. If there is no V-taper, and that was apparent. So you had some pictures, right?
Yeah.
Apparently there was one point after the prejudging, and the same one point after the finals. When I talked to Tyler Manning, he said, like, yeah, they compared him, and then in the third round, like, William was showing more. He didn't get tired, and when we talk about this, so what if you get tired? You judging the physique, right? So, he showed, more fire in him, and he was smoother. It still poses the pose. You're supposed to judge the pose. So if it's 3 rounds not good enough, are you going to do 3 more? So I'm not for that. Like, okay, let's look who's going to fade first. Physique should be judged the way I see it. And if you see it a couple of times, do you really need to go third, fourth to wait for somebody to start sweating? And now if you start sweating, so now you're going to be penalized because you're sweating? It just doesn't make sense to me. And if somebody's going to tell me, like, who Behruz was not in condition, he was in very good condition.
No, very good condition. I mean, listen, we've talked about, possible flaws in the physique, and I mean, it seems like he's improving. That's the main thing.
Yes.
I mean, he's not an older guy, right? He's pretty
31.
young guy. Yeah, so, I mean, he hasn't even come into his own at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he has a
listen,
huge future.
Williams on his last stretch, right? I mean, I don't know how much longer he's going to keep going, but, when we saw him in FIBO, he was actually, he wasn't as confident as I thought he would be because, remember, you take a step away from the stage sometimes, and maybe real life takes over a little bit, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, let's, maybe I'm heading in a different direction, and in that meantime, like you get a new Mr. Olympia comes in and wins, or a couple, it's changing guard almost every year at this point. You're questioning, okay, what do you need to do to improve yourself? And you're still, he's the last of the breed of, like, he was competing with Phil Heath and Dexter's and all those guys. Like, I think he may be the last of that.
I mean, Brendan Curry.
Yeah,
is still
true.
here,
Yeah, Brendan
right?
Curry's still there. That's right.
Is he competing this year?
Probably. I mean, I don't know exactly,
But
he should.
we're talking about what's in front of us right now. So I mean, he was a little uncertain, which we thought he looked tremendous. I mean, and the muscle maturity, and that's where I would say is, like, if you're really looking at him versus Betruz, I think that you can say that William might have a little more, like, we talk about the density, the maturity, the roundness, and like the seasoned muscle, right?
Yes.
But
yes,
I don't think William structurally is the ideal, right? A little shorter torso. The lats aren't popping like when you talk about that V taper, that point is, it's a little tougher.
But in how many poses that's visible? I mean, front relax, front lat spread, back lat spread, back
I know,
relax.
but we always talk about how,
Okay,
we always talk about how, those, like, we talk about symmetry, Milos, in a lot of conversations, you and I, but we used to have a round that counted as points. I mean, there was called a symmetry and a muscularity round.
Yeah, and they judged it separately, and I loved it, because I was always
maybe they still have that in their mind,
they
but
say
they don't
consider it.
Okay, but there's not actual rounds that are classified. So if an amateur person that's never been to a show, it's not like it's not, or looking at a score sheet, round 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. There is no such thing now, right? There's a prejudging and a finals and a confirmation round.
But that's like considered one of those already.
But I feel like a confirmation round is like, hey, just so you can see what you missed at prejudging, here's what we got, right?
Yeah.
Right. So we're gonna
go from the
boom. All right. So I'm just gonna I couldn't get good, like, the footage was not really good quality.
Picture first, because you're starting with this was the pose I don't like for him.
These are the best images I could find. So I'm just going to pull up images. So I'll let you guys go ahead.
What is to say here? Okay. William dance as can be, like you said.
The legs look great here, William's legs.
For
right?
42 years old, there was a time when his legs were down. He brought him up, my hat up to him. He did a hell of a job. I mean, he's just a dance compact, but structure. Okay, here, this is not comparable for me. Right?
I'm just trying to figure out how you say he's 6'1" or 6 feet and
yeah.
I don't know if it's just
Williams. Yeah, Williams 5'5". Yeah.
Actually, in some poses, they criticize him, like side poses, he would squat down and then he look almost the same. Yeah, but he's there close to 6 foot.
So both of you guys, who do you think wins this pose and why?
I mean, Betruz takes up way more space. I mean, you want to start tearing apart. Williams' legs probably better in this pose, probably.
A little bit.
Calves are better. But man, like, mark off the lower body and look at the upper bodies. Come on, like, it's
not comparable.
Yeah, it's not the midsection. Everything.
It's not like, okay, that's a close shot. And that used to be Williams' great shot, but again, the narrow clavicles against wide.
But we're looking at one picture. We're not looking at
course.
transitions, right? Yeah. That's where we can't make that judgment. Of course, because I'm sure it didn't look this apparent in person.
This pose I would give it to William, because. Again,
you tell Betruz not to do this pose, or how do you handle it?
Just think about this. He normally has a super striated chest in a normal, most muscular, but here in crab, many people do that. Regan does that as well. He popped the traps and shoulders, and there is no single striation on the chest. And of course, William knows how to do it. William looks great in that shot. Okay, that's the first mandatory pose. Okay, so. Shape, structure, aesthetics.
Yeah, now you can see the height difference a little bit.
Yeah, V taper. Okay, so are we going to look body or are we going to look muscle? If you look at the whole body and you scan it from top to bottom, shapely, V-tapered, what is considered, what we want to see in bodybuilding, or we just want to see the muscle. William's legs are very, very good. He had a little, I think, problem on the right quad. There was probably some little tear or something. But here, even great arms of William Boniak, right? Shape of the arms compared to shape of the arms of Behruz. And then shut the light, see the V-taper. And then consider condition, consider the waist. Consider the small waistline and wide lats. For me, there's no doubt.
What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this isn't Williams' knockout shot either, but I see a lot more maturity in Williams' physique than, Betruz still is a young.
Maturity wins the shape?
No, I mean, let's just see pose to pose, obviously it was a 1-point decision, so it's like, it's a coin toss, right? Just line them up again and see what.
It's there. I'm just letting.
I mean, this is Williams impressive here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you still would have your guy winning. I mean, I think the show we're going to look at after this, he's a little sharper than this for sure. But
yeah, if it goes to William, I have no issues because that's a phenomenal pose for both of them. I like Behruz's side chest, but William is formidable here. If he wins here, I have no issues. Yeah,
he's got that crazy density.
Yeah. If there's a 10-point mass system like in a UFC, 10-9 round or 10-8 round, this is 10-7 round. Right?
Go ahead.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. This is also that, as Ronnie Coleman next to you would say, lights out. Back of our bicep.
Yeah, but I don't know if I aesthetically like Betruz over William in this.
No?
The lower body. I just think the glutes are a little overdeveloped and compared to Williams, just the tie-ins.
Well, let's just compare glutes for glutes. You want to say it's more developed than
but
William?
look at Williams' tie-ins on his hamstrings. Look at you know what I mean?
Can you with the finger show me the tie-in that he has that Behruz doesn't have on this line? It's very, very, very comparable. William has that big old glutes, especially if he walks from the side, you can see it. For me, just look at the lats, width and V-taper, shoulder width and everything else. You see, for me, this is not even a contest, but you said it is.
I mean, lower to upper, I would agree that his back lat spread is better, for sure, but I'm not sure
in the lower body
it's as pleasing to look at as a Williams matured.
Yeah. Lower body, I would tell you, it could go either way. Yeah.
I mean, what would you say? I mean, am I right or wrong? Am I crazy? I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
Can you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, where his glutes are so big that it kind of takes away from the hamstrings, even though he has the cuts.
This is the whole thing. Is it comes down to the cut of the trunks too? Okay, I'm not favorable towards Williams, whatever these are trunks. What would you call these? I
don't know.
Like leopard. I don't even know what these. I'm into black trunks like Betruz is way, but I'm also not about hiking it up the ass on these guys. Like we understand your glutes look good, I don't know. There's a cut for that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And listen, we're not looking at this at a full straight on shot either, so it's a little hard to judge this. I mean, we're looking at Williams straight on. We're not looking at Betruz straight on. But this is, listen, here, it's a different look.
Boniak looks phenomenal in this pose.
Yeah, but Betruz looks really good here, too. I think his leg, he's able to hit his hamstrings and everything a little tighter than he could with the lat spread. I just think when you have to roll you lose a little bit on your glutes and hamstring tightness. We've posed. I think this pose is a lot easier to keep everything more tight than when you're rolling and you're focusing on rolling your back and trying to keep your hamstrings and glutes tight, in my opinion.
Yeah. I like the way Becruz presents his hamstring.
This is a great shot for him. I wouldn't. I mean, look at the biceps. You got to look at all that stuff, right?
Yeah. This is prejudging or finals?
I believe finals.
Yeah.
Was he better at prejudging or finals?
He was. They say that he was.
It was
better
a 1 point in both.
Yeah, he was better in finals.
Okay.
But listen, the difference was like hour and a half or something.
Okay.
It's not like they had anything else to do. At the prejudging, just he had no shine on his quads, and 10 was not as good. So he looked like flattish and didn't look as good as, he came back at night so much tighter. We did anything. He didn't do nothing. He just put the better collar.
Yeah. Great shot. I mean, this, I mean, I would almost nod Betruz to this shot, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, here it's kind of no competition as far as I'm concerned as front lat spread. I mean.
What I'm saying.
Well, I mean, we talk about pose to pose, right?
Yeah,
I mean, remember, we're sitting here on a podcast judging, which is absolutely wrong.
It's somewhat wrong. Yeah, somewhat wrong. But
again, we are in Monday morning quarterback.
Yes, it's kind of. I hate doing that because if I was on the receiving end of this, I wouldn't. Jay Cutler's breaking down my physique on a picture on a podcast screen. Not? I'm just telling you, I'm just here to listen to what you. This is your guy. Yeah, William won. Listen, we're happy as can be for William.
Absolutely.
They're both qualified now. We'll get into that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We knew they both qualify. We've been talking about Betruz being how dangerous he is, and we just pray he can get to the States for the big showdown because it doesn't matter until he's on the Olympia stage. All this stuff, he's qualified every year, and he can't.
Yeah, ever
get
since
here.
He turned pro.
Yes. So what do you? He's a legit contender for chasing. Yeah. Who knows what he is? Is he a top 5 contender? Is he a top 10? I mean, is he top 3? We don't know till he stands next to these guys.
I was going to say all we know is anytime he's stood next to someone who was in that top echelon, he held his own.
I have a tendency to repeat myself, but I'm going to say this again. Nevertheless, Becruz could have won every show that he ever entered as a pro, just like Hadi. 2021 Romania, he was third to Rafael and Samson. They were not close to his condition. Not close. Remember that? But that was his pro debut. 2022, he won, looking spectacular. 2023 Romania, he lost to Samson. And I would give it to Samson because the legs were dominant and everything. But again, conditioning was not comparable. Becruz would beat him in every other aspect, but legs, for that balance, I would go with Samson.
I think he would do very well in the Olympia stage because he's got freaky condition and freaky muscle, but put together well.
So for this show, again, we wanted to show a little bit improvement in size.
Well, here it's just a preference. I mean, I think William has maturity. I think Betruz has. I love this shot for him.
Yeah.
I mean, if we really want to start, look at the hamstring on Betruz, right?
Yeah.
Tie-in. Williams doing it a different way. He's doing it Yates style, right? He has the abs in there, which it doesn't even seem like Betruz is even on his abs yet in this pose, right? So hard to judge on this. But look at the tricep of William and just the pec, and it's just mature, right? So it's a coin toss here.
Yes, that's 2 times Arnold Classic champion, runner-up at Olympia.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not to hold your hat to lose to.
By no means.
And you're losing by a point. So it really comes down to basically one judge that, hey, I liked.
But again, I mean, when you were asking me in the beginning, I do think that Betruz won, and not being biased.
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Considering everything.
Yeah, I don't think anyone had a problem with.
You know how they say, de gustibus non est disputandum in Latin language. You can't discuss about a taste. It's still subjectivity here and still about the taste. They don't have a right criteria. So if your taste is more into the density and hardness and maturity, or your taste is for shape, structure.
That's why you have 7 judges or whatever.
Yeah, V-taper. Yeah, so.
This obviously Williams wasn't into the shot yet. So.
Even if he was.
Yeah. No, I mean, you can tell this is a good shot for Williams.
Yeah, there was no contest here either, even though you're comparing the legs as well, and maybe that's the one part that they're knocked down on Becruz. Like the legs are still not
his legs are improving,
Olympia.
Though, to be honest.
I heard everyone talking about this, listening to other podcasts, and his legs don't look bad.
Not at all.
They're not as good as the best guys in the world, but what happens when they are?
Yeah. Everything else on the cruise is spectacular. Arms are phenomenal.
And you said he's 31. He's only been pro for 3 years.
Back, yeah.
He's going to be a problem in the near future.
Yeah. 3.5 now.
Yep. So that was that show.
Oh. So anyway, let's talk about also Michael Krizo. You heard that he pulled out of all the other shows for this year.
I didn't know that.
Took the rest of the year.
Yeah, and he had, I guess, shoulder injury, and he couldn't really train and prepare. So that's why there was not much updates or anything. And
so he's not going to qualify for the Olympia?
He's not going to do the
So
Olympia,
we talked about there would be someone that missed it. There was one.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's the first one that we've that.
Yeah. You don't have a video?
No, the video's just poor quality. That's why. The videos, I don't know what it was, but the videos were I looked up a bunch of them, unless you had somebody in the crowd filming it.
Yeah,
they just weren't good.
I had a stream, but the stream was such a bad quality, it was depressing. But then the cruise guy on the cruise Instagram page was streaming. So
I saw some of the other podcasts or some of the other shows talking about that. And
you can really...
it's just us right now. I haven't showed this. I want to give you time to talk in between the two.
Yeah, so anyway, Krizo was hoping he can qualify for Olympia and win that show. Obviously, he didn't. And Sasan Hirati made a great comeback, placed fourth. There was argument he could have possibly beat Krizo at that show. Anyway.
So now he gets second. Where does Behruz go? Does he go from Spain straight to Italy?
He stayed in Spain, and you see, Behruz is perfectionist, and he judged that his condition was good, but not as dry as we did in a few shows. So we tried to bring him up a little bit fuller, because I thought it was a good
How much
call.
time in between 2 weeks?
No, just 1 week. Yeah, just 1 week. So, and that was Sunday night. So imagine Sunday night. Monday, right away, he said, Coach, I want to train twice a day. So we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6 workouts, with quite a low carbs, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he plummeted down to, 110 kilos. Like, oh, shit. That was too deep. So I didn't want to keep the Wednesday as planned, so I have to start bringing back the carbs on Wednesday and then Thursday, Friday. But he just wanted to be dry for this show, so I said, okay, let's.
So you depleted him on those days he was training twice a day?
Yeah, I mean, 150 to 200 grams of carbs.
But with fats or no fats?
Low fats.
Low fats.
Yeah. Low fats.
And a lot of protein?
Yeah, my typical 6 meals with 60 grams of protein, 70 plus amino acids and all that stuff. But the thing is, once, you see, when you rebound from the shows, usually you hold water like a couple
I know, but
days
rebound is what?
Yeah,
by eating garbage.
Yeah, so he didn't eat garbage, but just water. Right? When your body is dehydrated and you start drinking, it doesn't go back just to normal, but super hydrates for a couple of days until sense there's no more danger and comes back. But it didn't happen to him on Monday. It didn't happen to him on Tuesday at all, right? So Wednesday when he was down to 110, like, holy shit, let's start with the carbs.
10's low.
And then 1 day later he was 119, 9 kilos more, 20 pounds more. Like, oh shit, that was not too much. So now let's go down. But we are happy with the look. I think also this is how it is. The show starts at 5. They were on the stage 9:30. So you have now 4 hours and 30 minutes extra when you're depleted and you're not drinking and all that stuff. Like,
You're sitting backstage.
Yeah, so the longer it goes, the worse it is. And yeah, I think he looked kind of flattish. Start losing a little bit of that pop. But conditioning was excellent, and that's how he beat Nathan. Look, Nathan came probably bigger than ever. I don't know. He was what we say exploding full. That full as a house. And Nathan is characteristic with this crazy shoulders, chest, right? So he has that dominance right there. I saw him winning 2018 New York. That's the first time I see him live. he beat. Yeah, he was there.
was
Regan.
Regan did Classic.
Yeah,
I had Nathan in there.
He skipped the Open and went to Classic. I don't know what kind of.
And he decided the night before.
I know. Lose 42 pounds and, he made it. But anyway, Nathan really impressed me back then with the super fullness. And now when I look at his physique, that trademark upstairs is there, but his waist got considerably wider and not in control of his obliques or the breathing in between. If you watch the show, if I was his coach, like 10 times I would scream my head off, because you could see he breathed from the stomach and that was apparent, like Phil Heath lost to Sean Roden in 2018. So you can't compare only 8 mandatory poses. You have to compare poses in between and what you do on the stage, your stage presence. So my knockoff on Nathan was obliques. He would breathe also, to the side. You can breathe to the front or to the side. And if he pays attention for next year, Nathan, again, giving you my views, analyze your videos and see what I'm talking about. There are 2 things: to make a stomach flat, abs deep, and then to bring the waist in. So he goes with waist in and then abs deep. And even in this front double biceps, if you look at it right now, you see that.
Pull it up.
Oh, you didn't?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm going to do it right now. Okay.
So, even though here he doesn't look the super long waist that he has with the short legs, here for whatever reason it doesn't look that way. But you could see that obliques are wider than it was old Nathan. And then you see the V-tapered waist in on Behruz.
What was the statement that Nathan put out today?
No, I listened to him today, and he congratulated Behruz. He talked about how great he is and how great his future is, and I think he said something along the lines he believed he would have won 5. He won 5 of the 8 shots. I didn't listen to the rest in detail, but I don't know. Obviously, I wasn't there, and
so he still thought it was pretty close then.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what was the point score? Do we know how different?
Straight.
Okay, so it wasn't.
It was. I mean, everybody that was there. You told me that some people from there told you.
I mean, I had multiple people there, and
that's,
their opinion was it was a pretty clear win.
Yeah, that's how you told me. Yeah. Don't judge what you see on the videos. Like, for example, you guys were
Arnold
UK Arnold UK.
Yeah,
and then you were at Romania Masters, and I had a Max Charles, and he was going against Kamal, and what I've seen on the videos.
And in person, it was nothing like those.
Yeah, you were saying that in person is a completely different story. So I know that everybody that I knew is like it's not even comparable, conditioning wise. But on the video, you can't tell that much difference. Maybe on some of the pictures too.
I'll let you talk about the first shot.
So front double biceps, he goes to Behruz for sure. For his beauty, shape, V-tapered. It just, for me, there's no contest. Left arm of Nathan is affected, of course. So here, if you compare here, you can look, maybe fullness on the chest or something like that. It's still V-tapered. It just...
It's a great shot for Nathan, though.
It is always good, always good shot. I would still give it to Behruz, no question. When you see Behruz hit that pose, this is just a picture, but he hit that shot in the videos. Look at many videos that I posted. Shit happens, like everything. The waist disappears. Legs here he didn't do as well. You know how you can pop that hip flexors and then you have a little bit more separation. His legs were way leaner than Nathan's, but here maybe Nathan, look, the separation is a little bit better. Yeah.
Pretty impressive for Behruz out here.
Yes, I mean Nathan is good here for that fullness. He's out-angling him big time. Look at where the feet is. Yeah. and that's the right thing to do. I told Cruz not to let anybody in front of him, but he probably doesn't pay attention. What the judges were calling, they call frontal biceps, frontal out spread, side chest, and then into side triceps. And that's first time ever. I don't know what they were doing. It's supposed to go to the back and then turn back to the triceps.
Go back to it.
So for somebody like Becruz that knows always this is what's supposed to be.
Is his English better now?
It's getting better, yeah.
Can you
But
communicate
still,
with him in English?
a little bit.
Okay, still working.
Yeah, just basic stuff. Yeah. So yeah, of course I would give it this to Becruz. You know, they criticize him that he leans forward a little bit too much. Look at again where is
This was always a great shot for Nathan too.
yeah, but look at where is Nathan. You know, he looks taller and much bigger because he's all the way to the front. That's a good shot for Becruz. If this goes to Nathan, I have no problem. I would still give it to Becruz myself, being biased. But Nathan has that full round chest, and it was much fuller than Becruz. Yeah. And he has a good back double bicep looking at the upper body. Lower body here, just the way he positioned, it doesn't look bad. And for Becruz, it doesn't look as spectacular as it was. If you look at the video, you would see, real conditioning, his hamstring glutes firing up. And I love Becruz back double bicep pose. So for me, he wins this shot
What do
too.
you think on this?
Yeah. It looks pretty good.
Again, debatable. I go with Becruz all there because when you look at each pose for a pose, but then still conditioning first layer of comparison, shape, structure, all that stuff. So all around, I give to Becruz all day long again. But if some judges give it to Nathan, I would have no problem.
Pretty
Because
gnarly.
this was always one of Nathan's best shots too.
Yeah, no chance.
The pecs, man. What's up with these Iranian guys and their pecs?
Super shredded?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Him and Hottie are
I always strive to get that. I don't know how you were, but I always wanted to have that crazy.
Yeah, because of your trained chest, you don't. You do that. This is what he goes like. Every expert put the shoulders down, shoulder. How can you squeeze the pecs without really squeezing them? If you keep it down here, how are you going to really contract here? Mm-hmm. You have to squeeze the life out of it. I have striations right now. Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at
right.
Milos and I trained chest the other night.
that.
Did you do machines or free weights?
We did machines, did we?
Yeah, we did machines.
What do you think? What does Betruz train mostly with?
He does combination of both.
Free weights.
Yeah. For back, and I love his back. He does all the under grip thing. It's so impressive. You didn't show the ab shot too. You had it over there. I mean, convincingly, yeah. This too, even though this is not.
Yeah, Betruz could
full
be a
shot.
big problem at the Olympia stage, dude.
So here, I mean, you see the obliques on Nathan.
He could
And,
shake it up with his conditioning and
Yeah.
stage presence. Yeah, size.
So there is a way to hit that shot to put the obliques in. He can practice. I promise. Yeah. Anyway.
Where is Nathan going from here, Matt?
I think he's doing Dubai.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
is your guy doing Dubai
Yeah,
also?
yeah.
Who else from the States is doing Dubai?
I don't know.
And any hunters or no Andrew Jacks or
Andrew said he's doing Texas.
I mean, it's $100,000,
That's
right?
$100,000, man.
It's like
I know, but we don't do it for the money.
I think that Bonyak is doing it. Yeah, I think that Negazila, Rubiel.
Oh, that's right. Nexilla's doing it. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's going to be a tough lineup for sure.
That'll be a good show.
you'll be in person.
Yeah, I'm going to be there for sure.
Are you watching it also?
Yeah, I'll go.
The,
we're going to
Portugal
be in Dubai.
Pro is next week, right?
Yes, Portugal, and then the week after is, I believe, Vancouver,
Vancouver.
and then the week after Chicago.
Yeah,
Yep, Chicago and Dubai.
yeah. It's many shows. I was happy to see there's 15,000 for first, 10,000 for second.
Yeah.
I never seen 10,000 for second.
I know, like you said, you guys don't do it for the money, but there's a lot of guys in this industry that $100,000 could really help them out.
100 would do a lot for everybody.
I mean,
right?
think about it. I mean, look, when Jay won his first Olympia, he didn't win much more than that, or the first Arnold. That's the same type of money. It's big money.
Yeah.
I look at. I mean, look.
It's also 20 years ago.
If you're gonna diet for a show, if you can win $100,000, why wouldn't you try to get that versus $10,000? It's the
Well,
same
there's very few shows that are 10 grand now.
or 15. Is 15 the entry level?
20. I mean,
15,
listen, you're talking 20 grand a lot of these shows now. So, like, we don't want to shit on the prize money because the prize money's gone up, you know?
Yeah,
Even though it's still, we always think it should be more, but how can we, unless we want to donate the money from Cutler Cast or all our other brands,
totally
you know?
broke.
Yeah, I mean, we can't sit there and bitch and complain about it because the sponsors are the one that are bringing the funds, you know?
Yeah.
Not up to the promoter to pitch in his own money. He's already paying enough to sanction the event and get the venue.
You got to bring judges over.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pay for a
certain
lot of
judges,
things,
flights,
right?
hotels.
Yeah.
Even putting a show up at that magnitude.
I mean, I would love to do a show. I mean, I have amateur shows, but to do a pro show, I mean, it's prize money and sanction fees.
No matter what way you look at it, I think you're out a minimum of another 50.
Yeah.
Just to put it on.
But I'd love to get a
Minimum.
big backer company to come in and say, hey, you know what? We love bodybuilding. We love to support it, and we would love to back up doing a pro show. That'd be great.
So
to
if
bring
anyone
one.
out there wants to get behind the future Jay Cutler pro
Yeah,
show,
I mean, I think I would love to do it in Boston. That's why I would love to bring a pro show to Boston. That's the ideal. I have 2 shows there with Steve.
Bias Coach Classic.
if Jay had a pro show, would you go to
And
it?
I picked the judges myself.
I mean, you loved the Boston Pro when we went that year,
yeah,
right?
I like it.
That was a great show. That was a great venue too.
Yeah.
It was a great venue.
For
Would
sure.
you be the head judge at Jay's show?
Listen, I would be a good judge, of course.
I think you would too.
I do believe it.
But, you know, we'd want to be, listen, at the times of year is I have my shows, it's like Olympia time or Arnold time. So it's like, you know, for me, we
Do it
talked
the
about
week after the Olympia.
No, we talked about doing it possibly, and then the Arnold bumped up the big money for UK, and it's hard to, what am I going to have a show that pays $20,000 in the middle of it for first place? I mean, it's hard to come out of the gate and offer $100,000. That's Middle East money, right?
Yeah, unless you got a big sponsor that's willing to put it up.
That's why, I mean, as much as I'd love to pitch in for it, it's still going to take a lot more because there's a second, third, and fourth, and fifth. I think all those prizes should be bumped too. It's not, you know, I know we're talking about first place, but like even like you said, like Nathan got 10 grand for second. That's impressive.
That's impressive. Because Becruz, I guess, he got only 4,000 for second place in Spain, and after taxes, he doesn't even get 3.
I think it comes down to what type of money the sponsors, the promoter can raise to how much they can give back. If you have a sponsor coming in throwing $100,000 at you, you can say, all right, I can raise everyone's prize money. But if you don't have that $100,000, you just can't do that. Yeah. I know. Look, and I know every promoter out there would love to be able to give out more money, but you have to be able to bring the revenue in before you can give it out.
Yeah.
You know,
so anyway, just shoot out to all the Iranian fans. I mean, I'm getting kinds of messages, you know, which is great. We've seen what happened after Hadi lost the Olympia. He felt like he, you know, put his country down, and he apologized, you know, something like that. Same thing, Becruz, when he lost in Italy, he thought that he, you know, let the country down. They're supporting them, you know, Becruz, Hadi, the whole Iran is with you forever and ever, and if you lose, you lose. Of course, it's nicer winning, but you have a full support of all the Iranians. And I have like thousands to prove. By the way, my number one country following is Iran, and Tehran is number one.
You know
city.
what, though? But even at that, even Americans, they don't care where you're from. If you have the goods, you have the goods.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you see,
Yeah.
they take it personally.
Yeah.
You know, the thing they represent the country, and if you don't win, like you didn't try hard enough.
Yeah.
They did everything in their power.
I still think Hadi has one of the biggest cheers when he walks out at the Olympia.
Yes.
Because people in those crowds don't care where you're from. They don't care where your passport's from. They want to see the best of the best. And Hadi and Behruz are the best of the best.
Yeah. Becruz is going to follow the footsteps of Hadi. Yeah, I could see that happen.
Pretty exciting, actually.
Yeah.
How is his mindset now? I mean, when he loses a close call, he wins. Like, does he give him more motivation? Like, does he walk into Dubai saying, "This is my show"? Like, I don't care who's showing up. Because who's favored? Like, let's be real on paper. Who walking into that show is favored right now?
If William's in it, William is going to be favored from his,
of course,
his resume.
Yeah. William is going to be hard to beat, but possible, as we saw it. Nick Zilla is a freak, you know.
Listen, even though Nathan didn't win here, he's still got, 11 pro wins? He's still a threat at any show he goes into.
He's contender.
He could win
and
it.
I don't want Nathan to take... Nathan, don't take any of my criticism. It's very easy to give compliments. You know, if you just raise the compliments, say everybody likes to hear him and you're the best friend. My criticism is constructive, right? So if I'm your coach and you have a greatest coach, Stefan is doing unbelievable stuff. I think that you guys went for a super full look. Maybe you didn't have to be that full, sometimes maybe it's better to back off. Same as you mentioned, Christian Walski. He didn't make a top 5. Great physique. I think they tried a little bit fuller look and didn't really work. I tried a little bit fuller look with Becruz for Italy show, for Spain show. Maybe if we did what we did yesterday, would work better. So you never know.
Another thing, too, positive, Steve Weinberger's the head judge of that show.
Of Dubai?
So,
yeah.
Best of the best.
Yeah, best of the best.
Listen, Nathan, I mean, he's obviously had some setbacks, and, I mean, he keeps coming back, and he hasn't gone away, and, like, his main, I don't even know if his goal is even to be on Olympia stage at this point.
I'm not sure.
He probably can make it to the Olympia, but winning as many shows and making as much money.
I know, it's disappointing, though, that he can't be at the Olympia. Like, we want to see the best guys against, and, I mean, this guy is a legit contender for the top 6 and
if and I'm just speaking off the top of my head right now, if there's a law firm, if someone out there is listening, if you're a law firm,
you can help.
And you can help some of these guys. A lot of these lawyer and law firms do pro bono. Just find a way to help get the best of the best in the world be able to present their best. This isn't a political thing. It's just, sports, arts, things along these lines.
Yeah.
There should be a way to get here. And if there's a law firm that would love to help, that'd be let's just go back to Nathan because I didn't finish, so I just want to make sure that I finish. Don't you think that was one of the biggest version of Nathan? Big.
I mean, when he popped in the Olympia at that top 6 that first year or 7th or whatever, he was pretty impressive, man.
I think since then he's probably about 15 pounds heavier. I think he was in the upper 240s then, low 250s. I think he's in the 260s now.
He is much bigger than I remember.
He's not going to get out muscled by anyone.
Last year, I think once I mentioned something like he didn't have the size that I remember him, and then he made some comments like, he's like heavier now than before. But this was a big version.
Heavier, yeah.
And there was something going on with his lat before last year that I didn't see, so he solved that issue. It's symmetrical all the way down. There was no issue this year. Biceps, it's hardly noticeable, My knockoff, you have to control the obliques and breathe from the back, not from the front. You can, have a stomach, working. So when you turn around, side chest pose before you hit it, it's out there. And I do mention this all the time, because I'll never forget what Hadi Chopin did at Arnold Classic this year. If you just watch his breathing, you don't even look at the body and muscle or nothing. You just look at his breathing, how he was breathing throughout the whole prejudging. It was state of the art. Never let go. It was vacuumed or flat abs. Vacuum or flat abs. It was never out.
Is that something you think he works on a regular basis?
Yeah, you have to. It doesn't just happen. You have to practice. And most of the guys, especially if you don't have that super flat stomach, you have to find a way how you can glue it to the spine, so to speak, and then force yourself to breathe without moving the stomach. It's very possible. You'll find a way. I'm not going to tell you.
look, we'll be in Dubai, and I expect Nathan the first call out battling
for sure.
with
Listen.
Behruz and William and Nexzilla, and I'm sure somebody else will pop in there that'll be fighting too. So there's no foregone conclusion in that show.
I have a guy from Iraq, Salim Ali, who's doing it's nice physique. Yeah, so
He's doing Dubai show also.
Yeah, Dubai. Yeah.
So how many guys you got in the show?
Just those two.
Okay.
I have a Korean doing Chicago. He's here training. He wants to train with Sergio Oliva this week, probably.
Okay.
We're going to do that.
When I go over to Torture Gym, I see some guys. You can tell they're getting ready for shows.
Yeah. Wow. Central League.
Milos is going to be right there front. Will that be the first time you've actually been at a show that Behruz is doing?
Yeah.
Wow.
I still haven't met him in person. I still didn't shake his
And
hand.
I feel bad because he walked right by me in Germany. And I didn't realize it was. And I was like, "Is that him?" I'm like, "No, it can't be."
So how tall was he?
He's not as tall as me, but he's probably close. No, I mean he was probably from me to the wall away, but he's not small. A little over 6 foot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's not small.
I thought I was taller than you.
Oh my God, you were barely taller than Nick.
Yeah, I took a picture with Betty in front of the octagon.
She's taller than you. And how tall is she? 5'4"? I'm just kidding. Do you think you've shrunk?
Yeah, for sure.
How much?
Like probably
What were you
5 centimeters.
Were you about
easily.
5'10"?
We need to put you in the DRX 9000.
5'11". Okay.
Stretch you out.
179. That's 5'10" and a half. But I just rounded up and said 5'11". But that was 179 centimeters.
And what do you
now
got?
maybe 175. Yeah, 4 centimeters.
What do you think that's from? Is there just
compression,
life?
everything in life, plus probably genes. My grandma was quite tall, and by the time she was 80 something, she was like midget. Yeah, so
You think you've shrunk?
I don't think so. No.
He's stuffing his.
Remember,
shoes
I
to
did
fill
the
it
I
out.
did the a lot of that
You did all that stuff your whole
stretching.
career.
Yeah, I did the. And I
I
still
have
do a
that
lot of.
inversion table. You know,
How did you do it?
Well, I used to go in that. It used to pull for my.
you lay down right.
Yeah, it's called the DRX 9000. Well, listen, man, we love having you on. We had a lot of. I was in California for Lonnie's show this weekend, and I got a lot of compliments. I text Matt. I said, "Hey, everyone asked about. I love Milos on the podcast, so I appreciate you guys sharing all your thoughts and coming on and giving us the
remember
comments."
when I beat you at
Yeah, they don't talk about that. They don't think they don't.
I want to see a picture of your Instagram one time that says I beat.
You
4 times.
You know what it is? They don't look at you as a bodybuilder anymore. They look at you as a coach only. Like you're not
I
remembered
only
as a
competed-
bodybuilder. So what does that tell you? I mean, they come and take pictures of me because I'm a 4-time Mr. O. You know, but
So you
they,
beat Ronnie Coleman at least once.
6 times.
Okay. Wow. He knows how
Hey,
many times.
6 times.
And how many times you beat
And
Jay?
I could.
But you know what I
say
saw?
7.
Do you know who I saw? Melvin, Lionel Brown,
Uh-huh.
Will Harris. Yeah, but we're gonna have Melvin come out and come on the podcast. He says he's got a bone to pick with you. He told me.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
We
no,
talked
no,
about the Ironman 03.
Yeah.
We talked about that a little bit, and
He beat Flex in the posing round, basically. You see, back in the day.
he said he should have beat me on that
That
show.
show.
You know what? Melvin was the first guest poser I'd ever seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was before he was still amateur.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be good to. Listen. I told him he's more than welcome anytime to come out.
He's fun. He's fun. He was phenomenal bodybuilder, greatest poser for sure.
That was one of the best for sure.
Beautiful symmetry and shape, and I'm a static guy, but he has no business even standing next to you at that show. I mean, I still believe that was the biggest impression for me. 2003 Ironman, I was sitting next to Chris, and I could not believe my eyes. Because you look aesthetic as hell, big as hell, and ripped. And he was standing next to 3 aesthetic guys.
267.
Yeah. There was Flex, Melvin, Troy Alves, right?
Yeah.
The Derem Charles. So all the aesthetic guys and all this stuff, and you were just killing them in everything. Like, holy shit. You know, that's why I'm saying for the judges, once they judge everything, you can judge muscle. Well, no, structure, okay? But if you are wider waisted, but your shoulders are that much wider, you create the same illusion of the V-taper. and it's so much more muscle. I
Did
love
you
that.
think when you saw me at that show, you're like, okay, now I understand why Jay beat me in like 3 years prior?
He's never going to admit this.
But you must have thought in your head, like, oh, wow, now I kind of see what.
I would say like this, Jay might had a chance against me, but it was still questionable.
But isn't it crazy? You know what is crazy? What I was thinking about. I was listening to someone talk about Gustavo Bedell, and I can't, dude. He made the biggest jump in Olympia history. Do you know that?
Yeah.
25th
24 out of 25 guys.
to third.
To third, yeah.
You know that?
No, I didn't know.
He was last place at the Olympia to like third.
Yeah. He was 2002. 2002 is the only Olympia that they judge 25 guys, and he was 24th. They judged 17th place and 18 and 19. I mean, it's ridiculous. So he was 24 out of 25. 2003, he competed actually with me at Hungary show, and out of the champions, he didn't look anything like it. And as I announced my retirement on the stage, he came backstage and said, "Oh, now that you're retired, would you coach me?" I said, "Gustavo, I told you 98 when I met him."
Well, I thought you guys sat down for the first time when we did the muscle camp.
Yeah. But
in Miami.
that's when he asked me if I would coach him.
Okay.
And then this is exactly.
And what did Sean Ray say when he came in?
Remember?
Yeah, tell me. Listen to this.
Yeah, so we had the training camp, and he had that bag, that you go around the shoulder.
Yeah.
And then when you move forward to open something, and his bag was here on his stomach, right? and Sean noticed this right away. And then when he walked away, he goes like, "Well, you're gonna, train him?" And say, "What are you gonna do with that stomach?" I said, "Just watch."
Yeah.
And that was November.
That was November of 2003. Yeah.
And he came for the Ironman February 2004. He placed third behind Dexter and Lee.
Yeah.
Beating many other guys. And it was just unthinkable for him to win that contest. He could have won that show. If you ask Ronnie.
I remember the pictures.
Ronnie said he could have
crazy.
won. Yeah. And then 2003, all the shows he did the GNC, he, I guess, placed second to Victor Martinez. Mm-hmm. And 2003 Olympia. It was 2000. No, 2004.
Well,
2004.
I remember you told me when he did that Ironman that year, he won it in 04, right? Or 05?
He won 05.
Okay, you're like, this guy's serious. He was front squatting 4 plates right before the show. And
yeah, he trained like
I mean, he was pretty hungry. I mean, I did watch him train, and I wasn't. You always said he was very intense when he trained and whatever, and I was like, damn, I never imagined he'd place third.
Yeah.
Next to us, you know what I mean? I was second twice in a row,
and
it was like the same top. That was crazy. Top 3 was the same. It's kind of.
He was not the top 10 contender at the time.
I know.
And
what was his physique? Maybe you can pop a picture up of him as we do this. Maybe note that. What would you?
2005. I don't know.
No. I'm just saying.
2005.
Oh, you want to pop it on the screen?
If I can, I'll pull it up.
Okay. What do you think about his physique? Was
2005 Ironman?
Yeah, for example.
What made his physique? Because I always thought like there was nothing that was mind blowing on him. I mean, he had great arms, right?
He had a good arms, but when he was posing this stupid shot today. I said, open him up, and then once he opened up, it's like you see that hanging triceps,
and he had a good hamstring from the side.
He
right?
had a good remember how he had that kind of flattish chest back then? So with my protocols and everything, the muscle that can volumize can make a huge difference. So his chest popped up. This is 2005 Ironman? Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
Wow.
Yeah. Look at the arms here. Yeah.
And he won this against who?
Troy Alves.
Okay, so he didn't really have any crazy competition.
He didn't, yeah. Year before he had look at that. Yeah.
What was he here? Do you remember the weight?
I think it was like
'Cause he was like 5'7", right?
Yeah. He was under 2.
And did you really think he had a good shot to go in the Arnold Classic after this and do some damage?
Yeah.
He did have stomach control issues though, right?
Yeah, here and there. He placed third at that Arnold Classic.
Yeah, very nice guy. He came to my home for my party after I won the Olympia.
I remembered in 2007 when you were doing photo shoots. He was at the same gym.
Yeah.
Who's he
He was
signed
with
to?
Muscle Tech. Muscle Tech, yeah. Muscle Tech signed him. Muscle Tech jumped on when they saw the success. Remember, they wanted all the top guys, but great arms. Really sad, this situation, right, Milos?
Super sad. I don't even know what's the.
He had kidney. I think his kidneys, yeah. But he had a few young children, and
He was Colombian or Venezuelan?
Venezuelan.
God.
Living in Puerto Rico. Then he moved to Vegas, right? He
moved here, bought a house, and started his life. And his wife was here, and I think they went through some rough times. And obviously he came back and tried to compete a few more times.
So now that you refresh the memory, okay, this was before Arnold. So I would normally deplete them with 150 carbs, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But then he went there early. And then when I came Wednesday and I look at him, it's kind of too flat. It's just like, oh, man, okay, we need to start early. But then he said, oh, yeah, Milos, I just want this so bad. So he did 0 carbs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So one of those things, right? That
overdid it.
And you have the guys that want it so bad, right? So think, okay, if I go even less, it's even better. But then I think 3 days of being, catabolic, it's so much harder to bring him back up. Then when you start loading him, he was getting good, but then 2 hours later he would come down, up and then come down. So even before the pre-judging, I liked what he looked like in a hotel room before he left, and on stage it was considerably flatter. That reminds me, I didn't talk to you guys about Quinton, right? You guys analyzed the Toronto show.
Yeah, kill that.
So
we did a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Quentin has phenomenal physique, right? And for New York show, just going into the show, I think that it was visible that he was over dieting, chasing condition, and then he was probably catabolic, and then he couldn't just pick the weight back up.
Does he compete again this year?
I don't know. There was
For some reason I thought I heard
Vancouver.
him say he was going to do. I think he was going to do Vancouver. Yeah. I think I heard that.
So
I'm not
who's
sure.
in Vancouver, guys?
Right now, I have no idea.
I just know of Stanimal and John Jewett.
Yeah.
Those are the two I know of.
Yeah.
And then potentially Quentin. I don't know who. I'm sure other guys will jump in.
So I do want to say I did see Regan hit a few poses. He looks really big right now.
Yeah. Regan has a.
How big is Regan right now?
All the potential in the world. 300 plus minus. Yeah. Regan still has the best structure and shape.
He's been in Canada for the last week and a half, so we're going to China in 3 weeks, and we have to get Chinese visas. Now, his passport was about 5 months from expiring, but you can't get the visa unless it's within 6 months. So he had to go back to Canada to get a new visa, or new passport. Once he got the new passport, then he had to go to the Chinese consulate and do his Chinese visa. So he's been there. It's a process.
Okay, but is he? I mean, he's training consistent. Injuries.
He's been training with Antoine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's
Muscle and Fitness.
good for him to be there.
Yeah.
It would be great if he comes back and trains with Sergio Oliva.
Yep. They've had some
I would love to see that happen.
Because Sergio trains hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
They've had that conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know how often or when, but
Sergio and I closed the Torture Gym the other day.
yeah.
They were closing. I said, okay, let us stay in. And they let us stay in.
Was it closed there? Yeah.
Yeah, they closed at 8 on Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You stayed late.
Yeah.
Did you put him through a workout?
No, he was doing his back, but I was doing my usual chest and quads at the same time. Superset, antagonistic muscle.
Are you feeling good coming? You training right now, or
I'm gonna go train right now.
I know, but are you feeling good? Like, how you feeling?
Yeah.
See, Milos he doesn't want to train with me anymore, so he's gonna go train with someone else. I see how he does it.
So what did we learn last time?
You know what it
What
is.
did we learn?
You know what I can say is when Milos and I trained, I probably pushed myself a little harder than I normally do because
That's not very difficult.
we got moderately heavy.
How much was he on his phone?
No, he wasn't. We were
No, we were just
training,
having
but
good. We trained.
You know the reps we were talking about. He can bench. He can bench.
Yeah, but he can't feel it.
you can feel the muscle. Yeah.
I know.
We dropped the
There's
weight.
no
and
point.
changed.
So we did that, and then we did that heck press, the best machine.
I did that
earth.
again. I've done that once since you and I went.
Yeah, you
I went
feel
up. I moved up another
every
plate on
inch.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It burns.
So you know, Charles Poliquin used to do that completely antagonistic muscle. So you do crazy chest, bench press, incline, doesn't matter, and then you do something else, pulling or legs, and then come back and come back. So when I have a 45 minutes of the time and I want to do like major thing, I do the chest and quads.
So what are you doing today?
I hope it's International Chest Day, right? I hope.
I'm gonna go train at Tortured tonight.
Yeah.
I didn't have time. I've been running around all day doing my visa.
All right.
Well, we'll get back for these next shows. We appreciate you coming on. Have a good workout, and we'll see you at the next one. Thank you guys for following. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow. Make sure you check out what Milos is up to. Congratulate him on his recent, and of course, we'll see another one qualified.
Yep.
Another one qualified.